Let's talk about mantras, y'all. Let's talk about all the things. Let's talk about the reasons we hate mantras and the reasons mantras can actually change our lives, okay? Welcome, 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 everybody. You know what it is. It is time for your burlesque lesson of the day with your favorite burlesque icon and sensual Jiminy Cricket, okay? What's going down? So I had a question the other day and someone was asking about mantras, just talking about how mantras make them feel fake. They hate them. They hate saying affirmations. Let me know in the chat if you can relate. But the fact is, for me anyway, mantras are just very important because it's important to be romantic with ourselves. When I think of mantras, I think of an opportunity to romance myself, to be kind to myself, to tap back into that inner child energy, to tap into that diva without guilt or shame. Good afternoon to you as well, sending everybody lots of love. So I wrote a mantra down for us today. And I hope you will like it. Drop a pow in the chat if this feels good to you. So our mantra of the week will be, I am ready to stop waiting on other people, okay, to help me love who I am. I am ready to reclaim myself. All right, I'll say it again just for the people in the back. I'm ready to stop waiting on other people to help me love myself. I am ready to reclaim myself. And let's break this mantra down that I wrote for us. I'm very curious, when we decide to hate mantras, let's really break it down. What we're saying is, I hate the idea of being kind to myself. I hate the idea of uplifting myself. And we really want to unpack that, y'all, okay? Yes, Candy, darling, yes, it is a reminder. It's beneficial to all, to you and to those around you, because you're going to walk into every space with a different type of energy. And we really need to ask ourselves what happened to us as a child, as an adult, that made us decide that being kind to ourselves was a waste of time. Yet, we put the pressure on other people to be kind, for other people to respect our boundaries, for other people to listen to us, right? And I'm here to remind you that it's about you, okay? So drop a pow in the chat if you've been guilty of this, if you've been guilty of being like, oh, I don't really believe what I'm saying. This can't really be true, but you'll believe it when someone else says it. Okay. And I am also guilty of it. There was a time in my life, I've been where you are. There was a time in my life where I was waiting on someone else to tell me my brown skin was beautiful. I was waiting on someone else to tell me I was worthy of taking up space. I was waiting on someone else to tell me my femininity wasn't dangerous, wasn't evil. But thank goodness, my ancestors came through and was like, no, honey, you were born for this mission and you got to get it together. Okay. Yes. Okay, Nadia, right. We are waiting. We're done waiting. Okay. We are not waiting on anyone else to come and save us. And I'm not talking about a physical or a financial, rescue. I'm talking about the rescue mission for self, right? So the other thing I wrote down was, let's unpack why we feel it's fake. Why is it fake to believe in yourself? Why is it fake to do anything else but harm yourself, right? I want to invite you to do your own work. I want to invite you to relieve those around you of the pressure of constantly holding space for you, of constantly lifting you up without you participating. Now, you want a community that's going to uplift you. I have that, right? And many of us have it and we're ignoring it. But you want to come into that community prepared to give and take, right? You want to make sure that you go in there believing in yourself as well, and that you're not solely relying on these emotional surrogates to validate your existence, okay? Hello. Give me a hello in the chat if anybody is here. if y'all are still with me, because of course I can't see who's here. Okay? So here's how the art of burlesque, the art of self-romance and self-love can help you sort of come back to your mantras, sort of come back to yourself. Okay? All right, y'all better give me the hello, hello, hello in the chat. Okay? So the art of burlesque is really powerful because it's the only art form that gives you full control over what's going to happen, and it gives you control over the story. So when you are creating a burlesque performance, let's say you're inspired by the music first, right? And we know how powerful music is. Music can set your mood, right? Music can take you away into another realm. And we also know with storytelling, you have to think about what the story is. And so when you put yourself in this burlesque community, when you do something, like create a burlesque act, you are in full control of the story. And then once you decide you're in full control of the story, you also start to notice how your body feels when you are telling yourself this powerful story without guilt, without shame. And even if you have the fear, guilt, or shame, you know that that's okay. That doesn't define you. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you strong because you are scared and you're still moving while your knees are shaking, right? Okay, drop a 1 if I'm talking to anybody up in here. And so when you tell these different stories through the art of burlesque, when you're creating, your body starts to feel good. And then you say, oh, you get the connection of what I'm thinking actually dictates how my body feels. So now I'm no longer feeling numb. I'm no longer feeling disconnected. I am feeling empowered by my own power. My power is starting in my mind, right? So the truth is, when you are creating this powerful burlesque act, when you are moving your body, when you are listening to this music that is hyping you up, that's all a mantra, y'all. That is an affirmation. It's what I like to call a moving affirmation, right? Come on, sacred. Yes, yes, yes. Doing it scared, doing it in the sacred space as well. I accidentally said sacred, but okay, we got both words. They both mean the same, actually. So here we are. So we want to put ourselves in positions, where we're not just working, where we're not just nurturing our loved ones, when we're not just, nurturing our communities, when we're not just nurturing the world. We have to make sure we arrive in these spaces fully present, fully aware. We're not numb. We're not disconnected. And the only way we can do that is that we have to advocate for ourselves with ourselves. I know you want to advocate for yourself outside, of yourself. You want to advocate in the streets. You want to advocate at work. You want to advocate in your romantic and platonic connections. Perfect. But are you allowing your inner child, your higher self, your diva to speak? Are you an advocate for them? And the best way to do that, if the answer is no, and actually the answer is always going to be no, because we can't be positive all the time, right? So we're going to have to come back to these tools. That is what the affirmation is all about. It's about you advocating for yourself. Okay? Let me see if we have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm very passionate and hyped up today about this, y'all. So hopefully I'm coming through. If I'm speaking to you, say me in the chat. If you have any questions about what I'm saying, feel free to say it in the chat. Again, burlesque is so powerful. It will help you tell a new story. And when you get in the habit of telling yourself new stories, you understand, all these stories these are affirmations. These are mantras. And I am trusting myself to have a new story. All right. Thank y'all for connecting with me today. And I want to talk about, I think too, a lot of times people feel a way about connecting to mantras and affirmations because maybe it's like, it just feels fake, like I said earlier. And, I don't feel positive all the time. So I don't want to pretend that I am. And I want to invite you to think of it another way. Think of it as an opportunity to be a student. The same way we learned how to hate ourselves, and that was an ongoing process, we have to offer ourselves grace while we are learning to love ourselves, while we're learning to trust ourselves. And I'm not implying that we don't love ourselves, but we can love ourselves better. The love can be deeper. Yes, we are building ourselves back up, okay? Miss Candy, all right? So here is what you can do, and feel free to put these questions in the chat. I'm going to go back to them. Here's how we are going to return to mantras. Here's how we're going to nurture ourselves throughout the day. Number one, I wrote down, we're going to release entitlement. We're going to release the entitlement that our well-being, our self-worth relies solely on the hands or in the hands of other people. People at work, people who love us. We're going to stop being entitled to them. We are going to stand up for ourselves with ourselves. We're going to stand up for that inner child who was silenced. We're going to stand up for that inner diva who was silenced. We're going to stand up for that higher self that we have decided to ignore. This is your time to stand up for yourself and stop being entitled to the love of other people. Okay, that's step number one. Step number two, we are going to release the fear through movement. Okay, and I'm going to show you at the end how we can do that. So welcome to everyone who's here. Okay, so we're going to release the entitlement that our self-worth relies solely in the hands of other people, strangers, and people that we love. We're going to come back to self, and we're going to learn how to release the fear without judgment. Okay? So I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to show you a ritual that I do on stage when I perform burlesque, at home, and that I teach in my workshops and also in my membership. And also, y'all, if this was inspiring to you, please share this with a friend. Please sign up, to work with me. You can check out my free ebook. Okay, if you want to get started, you can also sign up for my 3-day burlesque challenge that's coming up in April. All right, and of course, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me the word HTS or comment. All right. So I have a question here. Do you have advice on how to attract the right people to uplift your dreams? I definitely do. So how you're going to attract the right people is to put the mirror back to yourself, right? So when we think about attracting other people, I want to make sure we're still not putting the pressure on the other people. So spend time practicing with self. And for now, instead of attracting the right outside forces when it comes to your dreams, let's go inward. So let's start attracting your inner child. Let's start creating an environment in our body and in our mind where your inner child feels safe to pop in and say, okay, I'm ready to play. I have these ideas, and you're not going to say that dream is too big. Okay? Let's start there. The people we're going to attract for now will be the Holy Trinity, I call it. So that inner child. Then we want to create an environment for that diva to say, it's my goddamn time. I'm stepping forward. Look at this outfit. I don't care that we're just going to the bodega. Yes, we have on red lipstick. Yes, we have on a ball gown. Let that inner diva take center stage, right? Then we want to attract the higher self. The higher self allows us to not just dream big, not just come forward, but trust our fears, to release the shame and guilt, to understand that being confident and courageous has nothing to do with whether or not we are afraid. That higher self understands that we are charting in new territories, but the higher self is, in my opinion, about having that faith, right? So drop a POW in the chat once again. Okay, no. Drop dream in the chat if that helped you. Okay, hopefully that answered your question. But when it comes to attracting the right people in your life, we got to start with that inner child, that higher self, that diva first. I'm going to always tell you to come back home to self first. All right. Okay, we got some dreams up in here. Let's see if we have any questions. So today we're talking about the importance of your mantras. We're talking about the affirmations. and how burlesque can help you do that, because burlesque will help you have an opportunity to write a new script. That's what the mantra is, y'all. It's a script, and it's a script that you get to dictate what's there. That's what your mantra, your affirmation is, you know. I'm sure y'all have heard me talk about it, but I'll say it again. You know, for me, I really had to start this journey with talking to myself in a different way. I hated being dark skinned. I hated being brown. I hated it. I hated my black features. Hated it. And where did I learn that from? From the people in my family, you know, from the people at school, from the teachers even. People just telling me I was not good enough because I was too black, too ugly. And so I had to heal myself through mantras. I had to heal myself through affirmations. And so a lot of people start their body positivity journey with, you know, I'm going to lose weight so I can feel good. You know, I'm going to get a BBL so I can feel good. Or I'm not going to lose weight and say F it to everybody. And that's me reclaiming my body. I love these rolls. I love this stretch mark. And yes, to all of that. But for me, I had to really dig deep, y'all. I had to dig deep. I said, bitch, you can have all the things you need, bitch. You can get rid of the body rolls. You can work out. Okay, bitch, what you going to do about the way your skin look, honey buns? Because unless you got some real money for true skin lightening, properly, you're gonna have to like being a brown skinned girl. And so I started by, you know, instead of doing traditional choreography on stage, I started by anytime I raised my arm, anytime I stretched my hands out, anytime I caressed my skin, I was saying, I love my beautiful brown skin. I love my beautiful brown skin. And I kept saying it. And did I believe it at first? Hell no. I still hated it. But believe me, I love it now. I love my features. I love my brown skin. I love being a dark skinned girl, right? But it was a beautiful process that I had to learn. And I had to trust that inner child. I had to trust that diva. I had to trust that higher self. I had to trust the process. The last thing I think I want to say is, I think there's sometimes people are having a hard time. And drop the word child in the chat. I just want to see what's hitting home. Drop the word child in the chat if that resonated with you. If you yourself, there's a part of you that you just cannot take, but you're ready to change that relationship. Or if the words that I spoke just really spoke to you, right? Thank you. I see one would never think that. I do move. I am very confident. And I became confident because I was allowing myself to trust my fear, to trust my pain, to trust my trauma, in the sense of trusting that it didn't define me and trusting that I can shift it. So my confidence, you know, was something I created. And I had to create out of thin air because all the stacks were against me, y'all. When your own family members tell you you're ugly, when your own family members tell you you're too black, and you grow up in a black environment, you're going to need some mantras. You're going to need to romance yourself. And that is actually how I came up with the concept of my burlesque program called Healing Through Seduction. That's what it is. I was like, oh, no one's coming to save my mind. No one's coming to save my heart. I have to heal myself through the art of seduction. I have to heal and not wait on other people to seduce me and to validate me. Right? So, you know, I just want everyone to trust that you can come back home to yourself. And I'm witness and I'm proof of that. I hated the way I looked. I hated my dark skin. I wanted to be a biracial, light-skinned girl with green eyes, you know, but that was taught to me. But at some point, it has to feel, you have to want to feel better, shifting your mindset and healing, and let go of the comfort and the ease and the joy you feel by holding on to your pain. You know, that's what it's about. And so again, when you bring in that art of burlesque, you can do like I did. And I would, every time I was on stage, people are like, oh, I love that choreography, not realizing they were a part of my ritual. They were a part of my healing circle. And anytime I raised my arm, I was saying, I love my beautiful brown skin to myself. And then that energy bounced off to the audience and allowed them, without realizing it, to look at me and say, oh, look how she's loving herself. Look how confident she is. And then you can become confident. So it's like Candy was saying, like, I move the way I move and I am confident as hell. But I started in the infancy stage. So part of the fear maybe of everyone saying their mantras is because we haven't been taught how to be students properly. Everyone's in a rush to get to the other side. And so you want to understand that when you first start your mantras and speaking kindly to yourself, you're in that infancy stage. You're eating with your hands, right? But we don't judge babies for eating with their hands. And the babies are still eating. So, release this judgment that you have for yourself as you are healing yourself, as you're healing your mindset, right? So I want to just read our mantra of the day one more time, and then we'll end with a little ritual. So our mantra of the day is, I am ready to stop waiting on other people to help me love who I am. I am ready to reclaim myself. Again, I am ready to stop waiting on other people to help me love who I am. I am ready to reclaim myself. So we have to stop the entitlement of making it someone else's business for us to love ourselves, making it someone else's business to shift our mindset about how great we are, making it someone else's business to tell us to go after our dream, making it someone else's business to go after the love of our life. This is about you. Release the entitlement. It's not up to anyone else to save your mind, to save your body, to save your heart, save your soul. It's up to you. All right. So let's get into this ritual. We are going to release. We are going to release together. All right. So drop a 2 in the chat if you're staying for this quick ritual. I just want to see who's here. Okay. Let's see who's here. Who's going to do this quick little ritual with me? Let's see. All right. Thank you for staying, y'all. Okay. All right. So this is a beautiful ritual that I do in my burlesque classes. This is a ritual I do before I perform. This is what I do while performing. I did something like this similar at Venus Cuff's show. Hello, honey bun. All right, y'all. So let's take a moment to come to self. I'm going to ask the sensual energy to enter into this space. I'm going to start sweeping the energy. Some of you may feel the energy. Some of you may feel nothing. You may feel boredom. Honor whatever you feel. All right. Feel free to close your eyes or keep your eyes open. I'm going to close my eyes so I can tap into that child and allow myself to trust. Okay. Yes. Let's breathe in together. A gentle moan out. Calling in the sensual energy into this room to help us connect to our bodies, to help us trust our bodies. In this moment, I want to invite you to offer yourself peace, offer yourself grace, offer yourself a kind and romantic thought about yourself. Let's breathe in our light and release our light to the world. Feel free to open your eyes if you need to. Now, in this moment, allow your body to speak. Allow your inner child to speak to you. And hold yourself wherever your body is calling in this moment. So this is a beautiful practice, a beautiful exercise to learn how to trust your body, learn how to trust your intuition. Let's breathe in again. A gentle moan out. Now, let's go ahead and allow ourselves to gently caress the body in a sweeping motion. I highly recommend near the heart or even in the mind as we try to activate our thoughts. The crown. Just sweeping the body and allowing yourself to release. So what are you releasing? And it doesn't have to be anything negative. What are you releasing? Maybe you are releasing the powerful thoughts that are trapped. Maybe you are releasing your joy so it's not trapped in your body. Maybe you're releasing your power that you're tired of ignoring, right? We're not going to ignore ourselves anymore. So just gently sweep. Paying attention to the crown as we are intentional about activating these new thoughts, aka mantras. Okay, and just gently now, allow yourself to be very flirtatious with your hands, with your fingers, as we activate the crown, as we activate the third eye and activate our thoughts, right? We are going to caress. And repeat after me. I am ready to stop waiting on other people to help me love who I am. The last one, I am ready. Allow yourself to flirt. To reclaim myself. All right. Rub those hands together until we feel the heat. Now we're going to romance our hands and the heat with breath, giving that air element. And clap to activate. Clap to activate. All right. Okay, y'all. That's our burlesque lesson for the day. If you enjoyed this, please share it with a friend. Feel free to head to that link in my bio, grab some of my free resources, or feel free to go ahead and book a call with me if you want to talk about working together. I do have a burlesque challenge coming up. During that challenge, I'm going to teach you, of course, some burlesque movement, but I'm also going to teach you some burlesque inspired rituals. I'm going to teach you how to embody yourself, how to return home to yourself, how to return home to your medicine, okay? Venus, I just love you so much. Oh my God, yes, y'all. Feel free, share this with loved ones, share this with enemies so they can heal. Share this, far and wide, don't be selfish. Don't keep me to yourself. All right. Thank y'all so much. Oh, it's like candy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank y'all so much, and I will see you very soon. All right, y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Pow.